Hi, everybody. Welcome back to We Talk Tech. This is episode 2. Again, my name is Wayne, the team lead for biomedical engineering here at Technology for Independent Living.
And my name is Ian Price. I'm the innovation strategist. And today we're going to talk about voice assistants.
All right. So at TIL, as a lot of you know, we use a lot of voice assistants. We started using them a few years ago, and at the time we did a lot of Google versus Alexa, what we were going to go with, a lot of comparisons. In the end, we did go with Google. Doesn't mean we can't go with Alexa if people prefer Alexa or if they have Siri. So yeah, Ian's just going to touch on those today and let us know what he thinks of each of the platforms. So Ian, why don't we get started with the Google Assistant?
Okay, let's talk about Google Assistant. So I'll admit I'm a little bit biased here because of the three, I do find that this one understands me the most. I do have a hard time enunciating, and it definitely of the three, when I speak to it, I have about 90% accuracy, which is pretty impressive. But that's just me, and I know that there are a lot of great features with the other two, and they work better for some. Like a good friend of mine, very similar to myself, Alexa works far better for him. And others I talk to, they say, Ian, you're crazy. Like Siri is the best. So really, there is some personal preference there, but Google works for me. They've been in the game for a while. The Google Assistant was initially released in 2016, and I think that it has the nicest interface, whether it's on the phone or with a display like the Nest Hub. I think that it's very intuitive and easy for anybody to learn how to use.
I was gonna say the app interface is incredible. Just so easy to use, right?
It is. Yeah. The one thing that I will say, Google, if you're listening, is stop rearranging everything. Because I'd say every couple of months, I'll open up the Home app and they've changed it. Now settings is in a completely different area. So yeah, shame on them for doing that. But no, they're trying to improve it with customer feedback, and they are very receptive. I've been on the phone quite a bit with Google over the years, and it is impressive how quickly they fix glitches or accessibility roadblocks. So that is comforting. They also have some really cool features on the phone. I know that a new one that they're rolling out in different regions is their reservation feature. So if you're trying to make a reservation at a fancy restaurant at 7 p.m. for 2 people, then you can actually tell it all that information ahead of time on your phone, and then it will call that restaurant and have a digital voice that actually sounds pretty real, pretty realistic, and it will make the entire reservation for you, which is
does that feedback that feeds back to you after the reservation's been made then? Or?
It does. Yeah.
Awesome.
It is a game changer, I think. I think it'll help people like myself who sometimes have a hard time speaking on the phone and people understanding me properly, that having a very realistic sounding robot voice doing the work for me is pretty incredible. Also, their multimedia integration, like with Chromecast, I find that that's a great feature to, let's say you have a video or you have pictures on your phone that you want to throw up on the TV, or watching Netflix and such right on the television. It's cool. Plugging a Chromecast into the back of the television turns a not so smart TV into a smart TV, and at a relatively reasonable rate too. I think
very good cost. Yeah. But another nice thing about the Chromecast is you're able to get your Nest Hello doorbell onto it, so you can see what's going on outside as well.
You're right. Yeah, that is a great feature too. I think it's important to create an ecosystem in your home. Like if you're an Apple person, then then there are advantages to having Siri. For myself, I definitely have adopted the Nest environment with the thermostat and the doorbell and such. But yeah, it's great how they all mesh together quite smoothly. And the cost, like the Nest Mini, I think is around $70. But you can pick them up for quite a bit cheaper at times, all the way up to the Home Max, which is up at 400, which is essentially a larger speaker with the same functionality and everything in between, like the display is the Nest what's it called? The Nest display, Nest Hub,
Yeah, the
Nest
Nest
Hub.
Hub.
Yeah, it's a really cool device, and I know that a lot of our members have been excited to use it because it gives you that visual feedback. Sometimes with a Nest Mini, yes, it lights up and it responds, but it can be quite comforting to have that visual feedback, seeing an icon of a smart plug turning off or a light dimming. So
Right. The thing I love about the Nest Hub is as soon as somebody rings your Nest Hub doorbell, their picture comes up, and
yeah,
then you're able to send those voice commands to the doorbell. I love that how it's just so automatic.
definitely. And the facial recognition too. I know that there's some work that can be done with that, but it's a great start, and it works well for somebody, let's say, who is um, in bed or unable to see the screen, to have that verbal feedback of who's at the door. It's a really
Right,
cool
right.
feature.
Okay, so Ian, that was a lot of great information about Google. And like I mentioned, we do provide Google the most, but we also do provide the Amazon Echo devices, so the Echo Dot and the Show 5 here. So again, your thoughts on the Echo?
Well, the Alexa platform has been around longer than the other two. I think that it was released in 2014, if I'm not mistaken, and it has by far the largest smart home device integrations of all of them, just because it has been around for so long. And they also really try to make it easy to allow people, developers, to include Alexa into their device, whether it's a microwave or a tea kettle or a television, you name it. There's always something that they try to make it as user friendly as possible for developers, and that has expanded their platform immensely. Um, Automation by far the best, right out of the box. You can purchase motion sensors and such, and then create a quick automation of if there's motion in the room or if a door is open, then it will turn the light on, for example. That's something that Google really has to step up their game, in my opinion. And also for email integration, like they support Apple, Gmail, Microsoft, which is pretty unique. Their audiobooks, like Audible, is such a huge market, and I think that that's a game changer as well. And then little things like having an audio jack that you can plug in an external speaker is something that they excel at. Um, yeah,
The audio
thank
jack
you,
there,
Ray.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. It's those little touches. And what else? Well, the price, you can't beat that. That they start from around $40 for the Echo Flex, all the way up to their Echo Studio, which is I think it's around $200. So they have a wide range, from glasses to rings, you name it. They really try to push out as many devices as they can, just to bring it to the public, and that's great.
Yeah, and you were talking about that price point. Even their most expensive one is very cheap relative to the competition, right?
It really is. Yeah, it's about half the price.
Right.
So good job, Amazon.
All right. So the last one, obviously, we don't use a lot here is the Apple HomeKit and Siri. if a client does have Siri on their phone and they use it for things around their house, they use that as their voice assistant, then we will set things up that work with that. But I must say we don't use it a lot compared to Google or even Amazon. What are your thoughts on the Apple?
Okay, let's talk about Siri. Now, everybody knows I'm not the biggest fan, but they are really stepping up their game, I must say. Released in 2011, but the HomePod itself was released in 2017. So they're definitely the newest one to the game when it comes to voice assistants in the home, but they do have a lot of really cool features. They're also the most witty. I don't know if you've ever played around with Siri, but
No.
the responses it gives you are so much better than the other two. Like Google or Alexa will say something like, "I'm sorry, I don't know how to help you with that," and or "Please try again later," and Siri will say some awesome comeback that always makes me laugh. So I have to give them credit for that.
I'm gonna have to try that.
It's good, yeah.
Yeah.
The HomeKit on the phone, they've implemented a really neat feature where when you add a new device to the home, let's say a light bulb, then it will ask you if you want to make an automation out of it, which I think is a great way to expand people's their comfort in technology and smart home tech, because sometimes they'll buy a light or will provide a light switch or a smart plug, and then they don't use it to its full potential. So I really like how it will say, hey, do you want to add this to an automation that at night it will turn the lights off for you automatically.
Right, really makes that automation accessible to everybody, right? You don't need a third-party app or anything. So
It does, yeah. Yeah, no, it's really, really cool. And then things like changing the tone of the light throughout the day is a cool feature that the other ones have, but it's a lot harder. So good for them. Also, the the security, they've definitely stepped up their game. I think they're the most secure of the three. And the only thing, because they are relatively new to the game, is they don't have as many device integrations right now. Like there are workarounds using Homebridge, but for the average user, I think that in the next year or two, once more devices are compatible with the HomeKit, then it'll be a game changer for Apple. And the last thing, which is unfortunate, right now the only physical device that you can put in your home aside from a cell phone is the HomePod, and it's expensive. It's around $400. So it'd be nice if they could introduce maybe a HomePod Mini or something, which is a little bit more affordable for the average consumer.
Yeah, that is unfortunate, especially for our members and our program. $400 is a lot for a starting point for just the hub, right?
It is, yeah.
And then you got everything else on top of that. So one thing you touched on there was security and privacy, and that's something we see a lot with our members is when we do set up the Google or the Alexa, there's often this worry about, well, are they listening? Where's my voice data going? And we do let them know, you've got to compare your independent needs versus your concerns about privacy. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I agree. I think initially everybody is a little bit nervous of having microphones in their home. It's not a comforting feeling, but it's something that I had to get over quite quickly, and really it's important, like you've said, that to weigh the independence. Like I find for myself at least, knowing that there is the potential for a data breach is always a little bit unsettling. But at the end of the day, the amount of freedom and independence that they provide me far outweighs any concerns I have. And honestly, if you think about it, almost everybody has a cell phone in their pocket nowadays, and a lot of those are listening to you as well. With respect to the three that we're talking about, I think that Siri and Apple as a whole has done a really good job of changing their structure and making it far more secure than the other two. And
All right, so that was a lot of great information about voice assistants. Ian, thank you for that. And just wanted to let everybody know that the next episode will be coming up in the next couple of weeks, and we're going to be talking about door access. So TIL does have a door opener program. We're super excited to have Richard Harrison. He's our special projects coordinator. He'll be on the video with us, a guest appearance, and we'll be asking questions about the application, the process, and then we'll also touch on how we can get you to access that door opener, whether it's through a switch or even your voice. We'll let you know.
awesome. I'm excited. Thanks, everyone. As always, if you have any comments, shoot us a message, and I look forward to seeing you next time.
All right, take care, everybody.